This is the Nerdy Things Podcast. This podcast contains strong language, adult themes, and poorly developed ideas. We apologize for nothing. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of the Nerdy Things Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin, joined as always by Jules the Human. Hey, Jules.
Heyo.
And by Tim. What's going on, Tim?
Tim the Cyborg.
Tim the Cyborg. Tim the whatever. We haven't decided what he is yet.
Yeah, we haven't figured it out.
Is that it? We're giving Jules, we're going with his moniker. We're using that all the time now.
Well, you know what? With the launch of JulesTheHuman.com, I think it was, wasn't it, Jules?
Yeah.
And he's starting his own vlog and everything.
Oh, yeah.
This is his brand. You know, embrace it.
I'm a guy.
Dude is building a brand.
Why not
Jules
introduce him
brand.
by that? That's how he wants to be known.
I'm good. I'm just making sure. Speaking of that, Kevin and I were looking at your vlog this week when we were at work. Yeah. And my first question to Kevin, because I had started listening to it and he's sitting across from me in the break room, I said, Kevin, is it actually a vlog? Is this what people say? I thought I always said vlog. So
vlog.
Yeah.
That's because he's an exennial.
Because it's capitalized.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
I've always said it vlog. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
Hey, no. I think you guys are totally right.
What about B-log? You call it a B-logger?
No, it's a blogger.
Okay.
Right. That's exactly it. It's replacing blog. It's a vlog.
Wow.
It's awkward to say, but so much fun.
In my mind, blog came first. So you put the V on the front of it, you accentuate the V to highlight that it's a video blog. You know what I mean? Like, so. Anyways.
Okay. So if you say vlog or vlog or whatever, let us know on Twitter at NerdyThingsPod, and we're at NerdyThingsPod on Facebook and Instagram as well. Follow us. They're all different. We post a bunch of cool stuff, some articles and all that. If you want to see all the nerdy news that we're going to talk about, because if you're new here, we talk about a lot of nerdy news, and today we're going to be talking about regular news, and then later on, we're going to talk about San Diego Comic-Con news. So be on the lookout for that. I guess we'll wait. Just wait. Sit there and wait. We'll start talking about it. But nerdythingspod.com is where you can find all those articles and all that cool stuff. At TeePublic, you can get some cool shirts, some cool merch, all that stuff. TeePublic.com, and then search Nerdy Things Pod, no spaces or anything, and we have some cool stuff there. There's a Stranger Things, Nerdy Things sort of thing that was a lot of
mashup.
Yeah, it's a mashup.
Stranger
thing
Nerdy
you get a
Things
shirt for. Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man. Some Slick Kitty stuff. There's a bunch of other things that you can go and purchase and buy for your nerdy friends, or buy for you, or whatever, or wear it at the San Diego Comic-Con, like our number one fan Will did, which is pretty awesome. He wore our logo, our iTunes logo shirt there.
Thanks,
Will.
Will.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, and he sent a bunch of pictures, and we'll talk about it and all that stuff. But also we have patreon.com/nerdythingspod, and we have some patrons there. And if you want to become a patron and get some exclusive content and some other stuff, we're posting about one thing per week from one of us, and some cool stuff is there for y'all first, or just for y'all in general. So go check that out. Patreon.com/nerdythingspod. And if you can't do any of that stuff, just leave us an iTunes review. We really love our iTunes reviews because that helps us get noticed, get more people to listen, and more people to join the discussion. And that's kind of what we
best.
want.
Love them.
So we got a new one right now by SoundChick88, and the title is A Combination of All the Things I Love. I love that they give us an update of all things nerdy and then talk about the topic of the day. The audio quality is great. Can't wait to keep listening. Thank you so much. And speaking of audio quality, I got a new mic and I'm super happy about it. And I just keep saying that just because I'm fucking excited. I hope you can tell. Yeah, that's all the cool stuff. That's all the things out of the way. We're going to talk about nerdy news pretty soon, and then we're going to transition into San Diego Comic-Con stuff. If you're new here, and you know, if you're coming back, why? I don't know. Well, I guess thanks. if you're a continued listener. I mean, they
We
like
love
us.
you.
Some people like us, I hope.
Yeah. We get some
You might like
repeats.
us, but we love you.
We do. We're creepy. It's awful.
It's a one-sided
and awesome.
thing, yeah.
Hey, Jules, I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, God. What?
So we did the episode together last week, Jules and I, and thought we did pretty good. You know, I thought we hit it off well in our little one-on-one discussion.
Yeah.
And you convinced me, unintentionally, to watch Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
Oh, geez. You didn't like it?
I've only watched one episode, and I fairly decently enjoyed it. But if you're going to recommend a TV show where there is the most insane amount of vomit that's ever been recorded in the history of film in the first couple of scenes, you need to warn a guy.
You know, I forgot about that part.
I am
out.
not cool with bodily fluids. It's one of the few things I have a real issue with. So I watched with, like, some people close their eyes and cover their face with their hands when it's scary stuff. I just watched the first 10 minutes of that with my eyes covered because of the vomit. And the cleanup of the vomit and the talking of the vomit. And it was on her mouth and it was just...
it's supposed to grab you. It's supposed to bring you into the series. That's why they put it in like the first 5 minutes. Yeah, I totally forgot about that part. Wow, there is a lot of vomit in the series. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta warn a
guy. Spoiler warning or whatever. Or don't watch it if you're queasy or after you eat or whatever. But yeah,
or while you're eating,
while you're
bad,
or if you're human.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. Anyways, that's all I got on that.
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right, let's get into the nerdy news.
Nerdy news. At 6 o'clock.
So we have another celebrity death this week. John Hurd, the dad from Home Alone, died Friday at the age of 72.
Man.
71?
72?
It's funny. His age seems to change every time I hear it.
No. According to what I'm looking at Deadline.com, he was 72.
This must be one of those actor things.
Yeah, Santa Clara County. So,
really?
Yeah.
Well, it's sad. You know, a big part of my childhood, Home Alone was one of my favorite movies. I think it was one of most people's favorite movies back then.
Definitely. I mean, even if it painted him as the worst dad in history for leaving his son home, not once, but at least twice, because I never saw any beyond the first two.
Yeah.
A man whose biggest concern was, is there a European adapter required for my shaver?
Yeah, exactly.
And my wife will tip the pizza man, don't worry.
Oh, God. I don't know. I didn't grow up with Home Alone. I mean, I watched it, but like, I'm sure y'all have a spiritual connection with those movies. So
yeah, especially My Name is Kevin. I was the one, I felt like I was left home alone. I really connected with that.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
It's objectively funny, though, isn't it, though, Jules? Like, really, isn't it funny? You don't find it funny?
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I was just too old. I don't know.
Well, because I feel like even adults back then went to see that movie and thought it was funny. I think it wasn't just a kid's movie in terms of its overall reception.
It's definitely it's super entertaining. I mean, it's just I never, I wasn't like Home Alone. Oh my God, whatever.
All right. So then, speaking of things that you may be more into than us, do you still play Pokemon Go?
Oh God, here are those transitions we missed. Yeah,
right.
I did.
Do you still play Pokemon Go?
No, I don't. But I do know that some of my peers still play that, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Like, I see them whenever we're hanging out. I see them pop it open, and I look on their screen, and it's just like the little person with the Pokemon around them, and I'm like, oh, that's still a thing, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when it first came out, everyone was getting into it, and I tried it. It's it was fun-ish, but it had no real end game, no reason to continue playing for me. But apparently they're releasing legendary Pokemon and like revamping everything about the game, or have revamped everything about the game. So I just didn't know if it was fun or if it was worth trying again.
One of our coworkers was playing over the weekend, Kev.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I asked him, like, people still play that? He goes, yeah, they're doing legendaries, and I'm getting ready for it. I was like, oh, okay. We have a gym in our work, so.
Oh, nice. That's
so
cool.
Justin still enjoys playing it then.
Yeah, you can say his name. I didn't.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, everybody was playing it. I was playing it. I played it for a while. I just get like bored easily, with like I said before, like with World of Warcraft, it's just like kind of a grind, and then with this Pokemon Go, it's kind of a grind, and I have to go outside. I don't know. I'm not a fan, but yeah, when it first came out, I would go with my then friends and girlfriend and stuff. We would just walk around, and we would see people outside looking at their phone, and we would all know, like, oh, we gave them like the Pokemon Go nod, like, oh yeah. And even like some people would come up and be like, yo, have y'all seen that Psyduck anywhere? And I'm like, nah, dog. Like, I'm not that into it. Like, I'm just walking around and just seeing what I pick up. I'm not like, looking for specific Pokemon, but it's like, yeah, some people are really into it, and some people are still really into it. I know my brother's playing and stuff, but I don't know how you prepare for the legendaries. I don't know what that means. I guess gathering a whole lot of loot and a whole lot of Pokeballs and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like specific places and or things you got to do. When it first came out, I was in California visiting family, and my wife's cousin loved the kid. We would drive around looking for spots where there were people, and we're talking like 10, 11 o'clock at night in a public park. There's 30 people standing around with their phones open, catching Pokemon. It was weird, creepy, and really like uplifting at the same time.
Yeah,
kind of awesome.
It was like something out of like a movie. Like these are like the modern day zombies. Like that's what I kind of looked at it as. And I was just looking around and I was like, oh wow, this is a thing. And I'm in the crowd and I'm with these people, and I don't know. But then it also did get people out of their shell, out of their houses, and talking to people outside. So that's kind of cool. And I hope, that's still going on. And, I don't know how long of a game they plan to play, but if they're still, releasing things and making it new and fresh for people that are still playing it, then, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know.
Pokemon's got some staying factor because there's people who still play, like, the Game Boy games.
Oh yeah.
15 years later. Like, I don't play Pokemon, so I don't understand, like, how you can individually play a game for 15 years, but they do, apparently, so...
No, there's a lot of people that like that routine works for them. It helps them deal with things, so that's cool. Yeah, I get that.
Oh, speaking of, Alistair, him and all them on that podcast, the Bite Size Lemon, again, they all talk about Pokemon all the time on that show. So, I mean, he's one of them. There's definitely a ton more, and there's even like ways to play it online, with like randomizers and things like that. So it gives you random Pokemon. There's like Nuzlocke where you can just to make it more challenging, to make the game more challenging. It's a way you capture like the first Pokemon that you see in each area, and if the Pokemon dies, you don't revive it, you get rid of it. And it's like people, change it up a little bit so to make it more interesting and keep them playing. So yeah, with different variations of that, I can see how
that's cool. I love fan rules of things like that. Like the people that play, you mentioned World of Warcraft, the people that play World of Warcraft and impose their own rules on it.
Yeah.
Like there was a pacifist who got, I think he actually got to max level without killing anything, which I think is just amazing. There was a guy who did it without doing any quests or picking either faction, I think he didn't pick any faction, but did whatever non-faction specific quests he could do. So you're right. It's kind of interesting to see if you can impose those limits on yourself and do it.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Video games that stick around like Pokemon. Another one is Halo. And apparently the Halo TV series for Showtime is in production still. Yeah, they announced that, in 2013? So it's been 4 years since it was announced. Spielberg is producing and directing it, and they haven't let it die yet? I guess that's fine. I never really got into the Halo games, but they're all right.
Yeah, I mean, Halo was pretty big for me growing up. That's kind of something that got me into first-person shooting and general just gaming, because that was a huge game that you would play. I'm still young enough to where people would go together and have LAN parties. I mean, it was on an Xbox, but still, it was a LAN party where like 8 guys brought their TV and their Xbox and all that stuff, sat around in the room together and then would just play. So that's, Halo is huge and does have staying power, but to have this live action TV show be in production still and be in development, and I think we've seen some scenes from it, and we've seen some like trailers and things like that in the past, but just put it out or don't. Like the kairotic moment for Halo is done.
Right. I'm pretty sure all of that was teaser and they're done with it. And so whatever's coming is something new, if it's still ever coming.
No, and I think the moment's gone for Halo. Like it's not, it wasn't there. It if they try and release it now, it's not going to be anywhere near. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're just waiting for the next Halo moment to pop off, but I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. But I mean, they have some new games, Halo, what was it, 5, and then Halo Wars, and all those other ones that are
it reached a point where I lost track of what games were out for Halo.
Yeah, there's a lot there. There's like the strategy one with Halo Wars, which is kind of interesting, and then they keep changing it up with Halo 5 and the past ones. And oh, yeah, they should have done it. They should have done it already. I'm over it.
Exactly. It's kind of like the sequels to Avatar that should have already come out, or don't bother. But, James Cameron is continuing that, too. He's talking about how he wants to redo Terminator. And I don't care.
Didn't he say, he wanted another trilogy?
They haven't made a good Terminator in 30 years, so...
Yeah, I mean, the first one was great. The second one was spectacular. The third one was meh. And everything after that is just bullshit.
Didn't they even have Christian Bale in one of the Terminators?
Yep. Yeah, that was...
If Christian Bale can't make the movie work, then...
No,
just
exactly.
Stop trying.
Exactly. And they had Jai Courtney in one. It just... Like, they keep trying and ugh. Even the Mother of Dragons couldn't save the last one.
Why are they... I hate... I mean, we talk about it before, but I hate this reboot era that we're in, and it's just like ridiculous. It wasn't that long ago that the last Terminator came out, or the last thing in the Terminator universe came out, and we're already
Genesis
reboot
spelled
it.
All fucked up.
Oh yeah, with a bunch of Ys.
But I'm not sure it's a reboot though. Like they're still talking. They may
a new
reinvigorate it, but it might still. Yeah, I know. I had the same reaction. But yeah, no, I come up with something new.
Maybe with
really.
maybe a reboot is better than a continuation of the same trilogy. Because
it would be 1,000 times better. But I feel like if you have the idea to do that, right, and you want to do it with something else. Don't make it a Terminator movie. Give me a really good time travel movie with similar elements, but a better story, and I'm in. But instead, I'm calling it now. They're going to take the story of Terminator. They're going to make it, they're going to make Kyle Reese a woman, which wouldn't be bad, except they're only doing it to make Kyle Reese a woman.
Yeah.
And they're going to send back it's just going to be the same damn story. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be a slightly different threat because we already have flying killer drones and AI and surveillance state and all of the stuff that the original Terminator was warning us about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just... Who's asking for this? Nobody's asking for this.
Tim, do you want to see this?
Terminator?
Yeah.
No.
We established at the beginning you're a cyborg. I just didn't know if you wanted to see your people better represented.
Well, they won't, so that's why I boycott the series.
Fantastic.
It's cyborgist.
Nerdy Things Podcast boycotts Terminator. Make that a headline. Somebody who runs news. Boycotts James Cameron. Nerdy Things Pod. obscure.
The cyborg of the Nerdy Things podcast.
Yeah.
Boycotts James Cameron and the Terminator. Asks Congress to seek fair treatment for cyborgs.
Yeah. Another thing we saw coming out this week was Netflix ordered a new show from the creator of The Simpsons and Futurama. I'm actually kind of excited about that. Have you heard anything about this?
Disenchantment. Mm-hmm. A little bit, yeah. I mean, what else has, how do you pronounce his name? Matt Groening?
Yeah.
That's how it's
sure, we'll go with that.
What else? He's only done really good stuff.
Right.
And why not? Sure. Get him another show. Let's do it.
Don't get me wrong. I haven't watched The Simpsons in the last 10 years. I have no idea if it's shit still or not, but it was funny. I grew up with The Simpsons. Mm-hmm. And I loved Futurama. I thought Futurama was definitely geared at me. And I loved when they brought it back. 6 times? How many times did they bring it back? Feels like it never went away. And they just had an announcement for something new from Futurama. I don't know if this is it or what, but good stuff comes out of him.
Yeah, and the Simpsons have been pretty relevant for a long time, and even recently they're still trying to stay relevant, and they're changing, and even though they have the same like art style and all that stuff, but they are changing. I mean, they invited the one thing that's pretty popular was the Rick and Morty opening scene, which is really cool. So they're doing some cool stuff like that. They're letting people just play around with the formula and getting more, celebrities in there and all that stuff. So they are still trying to stay relevant and still keep it fresh for people that love it. And Futurama, of course, was fantastic. And I don't know, I'm excited and I'm down for a Netflix thing. Netflix has been hitting it pretty hard lately. And I'm excited.
They've been doing a wonderful job with it.
Yeah, anytime you can take somebody who produces good work and team them up with Netflix, chances are the result's going to be pretty good. So
yeah, it gives them the freedom to continue doing their good work, which I respect the shit out of.
Yeah, or do something that they've always wanted to do but couldn't because they've been held back by TV standards or whatever. So there's a bunch of just open doors and a lot of things that he can do, and I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I mean, Joss Whedon was another guy who liked Matt Groening. I respect a lot of his stuff. His work on Justice League since Zack Snyder left, I'm hesitant about. I'm excited to see this movie. Mainly only because I want to get it over with, but also because I think that if it has a chance, it is with Joss Whedon. However, it came out recently that the reshoots have cost $25 million.
Oh, yeah.
For these reshoots that he's been working on. And most of that is because of scheduling conflicts, because everyone is doing their own fucking thing now.
Oh, God.
Including Henry Cavill working on Mission Impossible 6 and growing a contractually obligated mustache.
For what? Mission Impossible?
For Mission Impossible. So he can't shave that mustache. So they're going to CGI it out in the reshoots for Justice League.
Oh, no.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we're going to get a CGI upper lip that I'm going to bitch about the whole movie whenever it crops up.
Kevin, you won't. Because you had no idea until they gave interviews afterward that Gal Gadot was pregnant during some of the reshoots in Wonder Woman.
I hope to God I'm wrong. I hope after the movie comes out, I say nothing and we get emails that are like, hey, we pulled the wool over your eyes. You can't tell us where it is from anyone that's listening. That is ideal. That is the absolute perfect storm because there's nothing in this world I like more than being wrong about something I hate.
Hey, are we going to talk about Justice League now or are we going to bring it up during SDCC news?
We're going to save most of what came out during San Diego until insert timestamp here, and we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
So can we have stuff in our contract that we have to do for the podcast?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that after the beginning of the month when our Patreon clears. But we'll get back to you on that one, Jules.
Awesome.
When there's 50 cents left over after we pay our web dues and all that other stuff.
Wow. How much do you think it costs? Because I'm still in the hole.
Well, I was hoping for a couple more, top tier donors, but let's not put the cart before the horse, I guess.
We need more donors. Yeah. Patreon.com/nerdythingspod. Okay.
I mean, there are a couple of other news things, and then we'll get into the main topic. Apparently, Lionsgate may be plotting a John Wick universe movie called The Ballerina.
I read that. Oh God.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I again, just make a good movie. It doesn't have to connect to everything. They're already doing the Continental thing about the hotel, which fine, whatever. But just make a movie. Just make a movie. If it happens to connect, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Here. This is ideal. So this wasn't in the notes. You guys don't know about this, but
okay.
Have you guys seen the trailer for Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water?
Oh, no.
Okay. Check it out. It's pretty spectacular. I'll watch him
it right now.
No, please don't. But he is visually stunning with all of what he does. I loved Hellboy. I've loved what is it? The Labyrinth, Pan's Labyrinth there.
Yeah.
Guillermo is even Pacific Rim, which they had some stuff in San Diego about the sequel for that, but all of it looks great. But The Shape of Water is about this fish guy that they find who, I mean, this is set in the past, and this mute woman forms a bond with him. And in the trailer, they show him listening to classical music and reading books and eating eggs, and they don't know where he came from, and he's a fish guy, and he's played by Doug Jones, who, if you guys don't know, is my favorite creature actor. And so what all of this means is that this is definitely not a prequel to Hellboy, wink. This is, and it can't be because he doesn't have the rights, but that is the Abe Sapien character from Hellboy.
So,
wow.
I don't know. Never mind.
But that's my point, is if they're making this movie and it looks great and the story sounds fine, make it a good movie. It doesn't have to be an Abe Sapien prequel. It can just be a good movie.
Yeah.
You can give me the same story. You can spin it in a different way so that it's wink, definitely not treading on, rights for the movie. But I'm going to enjoy it.
So I just looked up Doug Jones because I want to see some stuff on him, and his website is www.thedougjonesexperience, but I read it first as the Doug Jones Sexperience, and he should probably change that. Just letting y'all know.
Or you should just kind of get your mind on the right track.
No, in Jules' defense, there is a store around here called Kids Express.
Oh.
And I do the same thing with it every time I see the sign.
Wow.
Because there's no space in the sign either.
Wrong.
Oh, yeah. On many levels.
Not going to say anything on that. All right. Next news topic.
So, real quick, just to touch back on that John Wick spinoff connection thing. I haven't seen John Wick 1 or 2.
They're awesome.
I know. Everybody keeps saying how awesome it is. So I wanted to see John Wick 1 before I saw John Wick 2. And then it came out and I missed it. And now I want to have time to sit down and see both. So it's just a thing I haven't been able to schedule. But I was looking into this. And the script for this movie is written by a 23-year-old kid.
Yeah.
His name is Shay Hatton. Shay Hatton is like gonna be the next up and coming thing supposedly in Hollywood.
Team Downey.
Yeah, he became an intern for Team Downey, and he co-wrote some stuff and in college, and while he was working he did this script nights and weekends. So he's some sort of wonder boy who this could be our introduction to the next great screenwriter of our generation. So just keep an eye on that.
Shows passion. That's what we need.
Yeah,
I'm in. That's what I'm saying. I'm in for it. So let's just keep an eye on that, because when he gets big, we can all say, "Hey, remember what I heard about Shay Hatton on the Nerdy Things podcast?"
Yep. So
you heard it here first.
Let's pivot from up and coming to beating a dead horse. James Bond is coming back with Daniel Craig.
Huh.
Yeah, didn't we talk about this?
Some, but it's now a done deal.
Yeah,
it's now
so
official.
It's
it was
just as stupid as it was before. It was a done deal. So.
Yep. I'm not. I don't know. I feel like it needs to be over.
Yeah, there were some people that had some words for us about this and their idea on it, and they said they were going to send us an email. You should still send us an email because we're still interested, and because they said it was too long to type in tweets. So I was like, whoa, like yeah, just
if they're still typing, then I'm not going to read it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, that was like a week ago. Dang. Okay.
I heard this thing on the news the other day though in the car. I was listening to the radio. And it was like, entertainment news, after the break. Just one of those quick things. And they called Daniel Craig like an iconic actor or something like that. And I said, for what? Like, he's maybe an iconic James Bond if you're a fan of the series. But outside of James Bond, can you name something iconic that Daniel Craig has done?
Can you name something Daniel Craig has done?
I was gonna go there, but I thought maybe there was something I wasn't aware of. Like, iconic actor? Are you kidding me? He's done a few James Bond movies, and for people who are a fan of the series, you either think that it's revolutionary and you love it, or you're not a big fan of it. That's how I understand it, because it is definitely not traditional James Bond. But give me a break with the iconic actor crap. I mean, he's not done anything.
He was in Cowboys and Aliens.
He was in Cowboys and Aliens, and that was an awesome, terrible movie. He was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He was in The Adventures of Tintin.
Yeah.
So nothing. He was in nothing.
Oh boy.
But definitely not iconic actor. Let me just state that for the record. Daniel Craig, if you're listening, not iconic.
He's been in a hell of a lot of stuff, but none of it is anything.
I do a lot of stuff. None of it's anything.
No, I mean, honestly, my favorite role for him was the uncredited Stormtrooper role in Star Wars 7.
Iconic.
He did great.
Good work there. Congratulations.
Better than any of these movies that I've seen.
Speaking of continuing to do things that aren't anything, they're going to do another sequel to the Olympus Has Fallen series.
Who does that? I know. I didn't think they needed the second one. Now, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed both of those movies, and I'm going to enjoy the third one.
I'm with you, actually.
I'm telling you that now. I'm in 100%. I love Gerard Butler. I don't really know the director, Rick Roman Wah. I did see the Snitch movie with The Rock that he did, which was apparently the second one in a trilogy. I didn't know. I'm in. But you're right. I think it's too late. That ship has sailed, and it's like the Da Vinci Code. How many times is this one dude going to be in this exact same situation?
Well, you know what, though? It's funny that you say that. Because we're on a little mini kind of vacation here and watching some TV earlier, and this romantic comedy comes on. And I'm trying to find which one it is, because it's one of the ones with him and Katherine Heigl.
So that narrows it down to like 6 movies.
But this is my point. I'm watching this movie, and all right, found it. It's The Ugly Truth, and it came out in 2009. And I wanted to figure out when it came out, because in this era of thinking, how does that movie get released? And how do people keep talking Gerard Butler into playing those parts? And who goes to see these? And why aren't they on Lifetime? And there's so many questions. Right. But it goes right along the same thing. How many times can one guy do the same thing? Well, he and Katherine Heigl made, like you said, how many movies together?
Yeah.
And they just kept doing it. And I just... Okay.
No, I know. But the thing is, with a movie like that, they are cheap. They're so cheap. I mean, you're paying for actors, and that's about it. And so they just keep pumping them out because women are going to go see it, and they're going to drag men, and it's going to happen. Not to be sexist, but it does. People go see movies because they don't know what's in them, just to go see a movie sometimes, and that's the type they'd go see. And if it makes back its money, they're very happy because they'll make more than that in DVD/Blu-ray/digital sales.
The thing that amazes
like
me
Redbox.
about Gerard Butler, though, and those movies is how he's able to jump back and forth between those and then playing like action parts where he's supposed to be a believable, gritty action guy, and somehow people like they allow him to do it and they buy into it. Because most people go through a rom-com phase. Like Matthew McConaughey, who's now, a revered actor, he went through a phase where he did rom-coms, and I'm sure he was having a hard time getting roles. People weren't taking him seriously. He needed to make some money, so he's like, all right, I'll do them. And I heard him give an interview one time, and he goes, you know what? It was actually super good for my career because I took it seriously. He says, I don't know if everybody does. He says, but I know how cheesy these movies, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I know how cheesy these movies are. So if I was going to try and bring depth to the character, that was even more challenging to me as an actor. So it made me a better actor. But he says, I wanted to do good work, even though that was the part that I was in. But he went through a phase and now he's a different, guy. Butler just keeps jumping back and forth. He'll do, 300 and then he'll go and be an asshole in a Katherine Heigl movie. It's so not believable. That character, that guy just doesn't exist in a world where anybody likes him. Period.
Yeah, I'm looking at his movies, and in 2006 he did 300. 2007 he did P.S. I Love You.
Yeah,
and then 2008 Rock and Rolla. And then 2009, The Ugly Truth, which is another one.
And then Gamer and Law Abiding Citizen.
Yeah,
and then,
right.
And then back to The Bounty Hunter. And then Machine Gun Preacher. And then Chasing Mavericks. And then Playing for Keeps. And then Olympus Has Fallen. And it's like...
Maybe he's like, he just, he's one of those actors that needs all of it. That needs both sides of it. Maybe he was shooting both of those movies.
But my bigger question is, how do people buy into it? Like,
he's good looking. He's charming. The Bounty Hunter's really good. P.S. I Love You is really good. I haven't seen The Ugly Truth, I don't think. Well, okay, they're really good for what they are. But like, he's really good in it. And it's like, he can play that sort of schlubby guy that's like, oh, he has that good dad bod that girl and people want. Like, he has, whenever somebody says, oh, I want a guy with a dad bod, and it's like, oh, that's what they're talking about, but it's not really a dad bod.
That's a Hollywood dad bod. They mean that.
Yeah, there you go.
They don't mean this. And I know you can't see it because this is an audio medium.
Felt it. Yeah.
But I'm just pointing at myself.
So there's I figured this out because like I'm getting to a point in my life where I just don't want to like eat really healthy anymore, And I've gained too much weight over the last couple of years and I haven't lost it like I usually do. And I'm like, why is it that I, can get into really good shape and be fine, but I can't carry extra weight like Leonardo DiCaprio, okay? Why is that? And I realized there's only one way to do the dad bod. You have to be built first.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be thin and then get fat. You've got to be built. And then you have to gain the fat over the muscle. It's the only way. Hey, tips for all you nerds out there, okay? Just eat ice cream and lift weights.
Nerdy tips.
Yeah. Hit the gym. Consider it a quest. It's a daily. Your reward is dad bod.
Status upgrade. Dad bod.
So I just did an IMDb comparison, and apparently Katherine Heigl and Gerard Butler are only in one movie together.
No,
and it's The Ugly Truth. Yeah.
No, wasn't that one with the Playing for Keeps? Wasn't that her too?
I don't know. I just did a common search on IMDb.
He does a lot of rom-coms with...
Jessica Biel was Playing for Keeps.
Primarily,
right.
White, blonde woman. So
yeah. See, that's the thing is, though, this actually speaks to our point because they are so forgettable. It doesn't matter who's in them.
Who's in the other role?
Her movies are the worst, though. I'm not ashamed to admit like that there's certain romantic comedies that I like, usually ones that have like substance to them, but the Katherine Heigl ones are the worst of the genre. They are everything that's wrong with that freaking series of movies. Just terrible.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely not wrong with that.
It's sexist. It's like, that's the other thing. How do women go see this? Because it's a sexist movie. She always plays the woman who is told that she can't be pushy and organized, or that she is pushy because she's organized, and that's not an acceptable way for a woman to be. Like, that's sexist. Why do women want to go see that? I don't know, dude. All right, I'm sorry. Sorry to bring this topic up.
All right.
Spent too much time on it.
27 Dresses is really good, though. Okay, go.
All right, perfect. Let's get into the main topic. We get SDCC news. So let's do it.
A huge topic.
Huge topic. All right. Let me close this browser here because bullshit. I'm totally going to edit this out.
I've got a list of headlines. Aren't you proud of me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I got some cool stuff.
Cool.
So why don't we start off with like saying, I don't know, do y'all have any con experiences? Do y'all go to cons or anything? I know I said one of my, con stories on Patreon, and I think that's available for everybody now, but do y'all have any experiences with cons or anything, or which ones are you interested in or whatever?
I'd love to go to San Diego. I tried to get tickets last year because I was actually going to be out in California at the time San Diego was happening.
Nice.
It didn't coalesce. But I'd love that. I feel like I went to Rhode Island last year, and it's fine, but it's all just merch. There's nothing else to it. At least at the San Diego, it's like, hey, here's some big announcements. The panels they had at the Rhode Island Comic-Con were the cast of Doctor Who, and by that I mean it was River Song and Amy Pond, and they didn't want to be there, and they answered the weirdest questions because every question was like, excuse me, in this episode you said A, but then in an episode 11 seasons later you said B. What did you mean? And it's like what they meant was they read the script. Like
you took the words right out of my mouth.
I mean, I get it. I'm a fan. I love picking apart things, but at the same time, these are the actors, not the people
they're
who
just
wrote
actors.
Like these are not the characters. And it was 5 questions in a row that was like, excuse me, how would River react to this? It's like, well, the character is as much yours as it is theirs. What do you think would happen? Like, tell me this story. That I think is spectacular. Like, I think that fan fiction is a great way to express that. If you have a question, other people do too.
Write it, yeah.
Write it.
Just put it out there. Yeah, to that point, I went to Alamo City Comic Con. I've been a few times. Not last year, but the years before, and I was in like a panel for the voice actor that voiced Master Chief in Halo, and a lot of it was like little kids coming up and asking, what would Master Chief do or whatever. And besides the like, oh, can you say this in Master Chief's voice? Oh, can you say this, or can you say hi to my friend? Whatever. There was a lot of like, what would he do? How did he do this or whatever? But he's like even further away from being the actor that played the role. He's the voice actor that played the role. So it's like he just did the voice. Like he has no control over anything. They just give him the lines and all that stuff. So
they make the bracelets for that. What would Master Chief do? Don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they will. They will. It's a new shirt that's going to be up on TeePublic soon.
By Nerdy Things Pod. Yeah.
By Nerdy Things Pod.
I love it when I come up with ideas and I don't even know that I come up with ideas. So great.
Right? You're the best. I'm writing this down now so I don't forget.
Nice. So, Tim, do you have any con experience or any things like that?
I've never been to a con. I don't know that would be my scene because, like, it seems it would be really interesting to see all of the industry news, but that I don't know that I could be dedicated enough to, like, wait in line for the panels or sign up soon enough or that kind of stuff, you know? I've always wanted to go to E3. That would be more my deal. Just get on the show floor of E3 and just casually check out all the cool stuff that's brand new. I think that would be more my scene. So Kevin and I talked about it last year, writing off, as a podcast expense, so we could be negative $10,000 revenue for the year.
Sure. Let's
write
get those
that
Patreon
stuff
dollars
off.
now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most fun. That would be because you get a lot of playable stuff. I know there's like some playable stuff and interactive stuff at these other cons, but yeah, E3 definitely is like the most interactive I talked about my RTX experience, and yeah, even RTX, they had a ton of stuff because it is partially a gaming expo as well, and they have a bunch of games and stuff you could play. There's like tables so you can set up, and there's like a ton of people playing a bunch of different games, like card games and all that together. But San Diego Comic-Con and all that, I mean, from the pictures that Will sent us, the lines and all the people, holy crap.
That's ridiculous. The thing. I just don't know if I'm dedicated enough for that.
No,
yeah, so go.
You got to sit out there like, 2 a.m. to get into some of this stuff, and then plant yourself for the day.
Yeah, there was a picture that he sent. I think it's on our Twitter at Nerdy Things Pod that we retweeted. It says line for next day, and it's a woman standing out there like end of line for the next day Hall H, and it's just like holy crap. He's nowhere near the hall, and he's just waiting there, and it's crazy. And I mean, you do get to see a bunch of cool stuff, and that's awesome that he did that. He kept us in the loop. So huge shout out to Will, because he kept tweeting us. I was there at work, and I was seeing all these tweets. He was giving us like firsthand knowledge of everything that they announced and all the different stuff. So go check him out. I think it's WW Sinclair. SINCLAIR WW. I think I got that right. But you can see us retweet it and all that stuff on our Twitter, and go check out all his pictures that we posted on a con whole post in nerdythingspod.com. We have a bunch of pictures that he sent us, and we're very grateful. Thank you so much.
It's interesting, is I'm thinking about this now because you guys are talking about what I go to a con, all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, for the most part, I don't think I'd really want to wait in line for a day to hear the actors talk about what was in their mind and what how did they portray this character. I like watching that stuff on TV, casually, like Talking Dead. Like, I think that's fun, but because I'm interested in acting as a craft, but I don't think I'd wait, because I don't know that there's enough information there for me. However, if there was one thing, if they got the cast of Seinfeld to sit together and talk about their characters on the series and that kind of stuff, because those guys were all so creatively brilliant and really did craft their characters. And of course, you'll have Jerry Seinfeld there, and but I would wait in line to see that. I think that's about the only, because I was even thinking Friends or something. No, Seinfeld, that would be it.
But that's the difference between like a San Diego Comic-Con and Rhode Island Comic-Con or some of the others that happen, is that the, actors talking about how they felt. And a lot of that is at the other cons where they're there to, make some money. They're, there to sign autographs and whatnot, which is another fun aspect of the cons. I met some great people, Michael Rooker, Jim Beaver, but the bigger ones like the San Diego, that's when you get things like the trailers for the upcoming Avengers Infinity War, which Will live tweeted to us, which I definitely didn't see a pirated version of, and definitely looks spectacular.
Oh, a few people saw pirated stuff, and a friend of mine at work saw it, but I was like, I got there too late. I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, it was filmed out of like some guy's hood or something, because it's at a weird angle, I've heard, and it's just blurry and awesome, and you see
reports say
reports allegedly. Don't sue me, Disney. But like that's the type of stuff you get out of waiting in line for 24 hours, 48 hours ahead of time. And that's kind of cool, because Marvel has said they're not releasing that footage. They're not releasing any of the stuff that they put up on the screen. Like they had some footage from Ant-Man and Wasp, which has just started filming. We're not going to really see that until forever from now, if ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think that would be cool. I just don't know if I could wait in line long enough. And I think my interests are too broad, too, Like, if there was one stage where I could sit down and see all the trailers, great. But, like, I don't know if I could pick Marvel versus something else, So, yeah, Seinfeld. That's it.
Cool.
Sure. What else piqued y'all's interest there at Comic-Con? I'm going to say one thing that really hit me hard that I really loved was the trailer for Ready Player One.
Yes.
Holy crap. this thing, if you had never read the book, if you knew nothing about it, you still don't know anything about it, but it looks amazing. And some people were giving it some hate because of all the classic tropes that they're like kind of pushing as like gamers. They're just trying to be like really nostalgic, and he's just trying to go overboard and all that stuff. But it was a really good trailer, and it didn't give you a whole lot of story. It gave you some scenes. It gave you just enough to know what was going on, what kind of world you're in for, and it piqued your interest even more. For some people, I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it, Kevin, because you said you weren't a big fan of it, or you weren't a big fan of the book,
right?
But the way it just played out, and those classic kind of characters, the DeLorean and all that stuff. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And then John Williams' score really brought it home. My goodness, that play on Willy Wonka theme, that sort of, oh man, when I heard that was just fantastic. And the music really made that for me. So I'm super glad that he's doing that for Ready Player One, and they teamed up again. So what are y'all's thoughts on that?
So a great trailer should like really get you interested in the movie if you know nothing about it, but not give away too much, right? That's the consensus I think we've come to. So I'm watching this thing and I'm seeing all of these like really cool interpretations and visual representations of these iconic 80s, movie moments and pop culture moments. And I was left, because I wrote headlines for everything I was interested in, and I said, is Ready Player One really about a VR world created in the mind of a kid obsessed with the 80s? Question mark. Is that really what this is?
Yep.
Then yes.
Yeah.
I am every bit as excited as I thought I was. Oh my gosh. Like, could there be a better movie for me than that? I mean, that's so cool.
No, I agree with you. And actually, having seen this trailer, I'm going to let all of my preconceived book notions go and just hope that they fix it, because it is evident that they are making major changes to the story based on this trailer. And I'm hoping they're going to fix a couple of my complaints with it, and I'm willing to move on.
And the visuals were stunning, and the whole futuristic world looks very interesting and intriguing to me. It's Spielberg style, big time. I'm in. I'm interested.
And I'm pretty sure that wasn't the author's idea. I'm pretty sure Spielberg was like, "Hey, I'm gonna change this," and then the author was like, "Yep, you got it. No problem here," because he got his book picked up for an amazing movie by Spielberg and John Williams. So
yeah, you don't say no to them.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna make this this scene really long and all that stuff. So, but yeah, that's one of the trailers that really got me, and I was super excited when I saw it. And they said that spoilers, I guess, spoilers for Ready Player One, that Iron Giant's going to be a huge thing, and all this stuff. And I'm just super excited to see how he does it and what they do, and it's super great.
Do we know if they're getting Vin Diesel to voice the Iron Giant?
I hope so.
I'd be behind that. He was the voice of the Iron Giant originally.
Yeah. I mean,
that's his thing now too. So
yeah.
I am Iron Giant.
I need a behind the scenes clip of him doing some CGI work for the Iron Giant. I need that.
There you go, some mocap.
Yeah, mocap, because they had that for But what's another thing that y'all really enjoyed?
The big thing that really got me going was the Stargate Origins announcement that they had.
Kevin, really? Something Stargate?
Who knew that would be exciting to me? But yeah, they're doing like a Stargate Origins series, like 10-minute episodes about the origins of the Stargate, and Catherine, who was the woman who basically started the Stargate program. And I am super excited about this.
You guys going to touch about that in the podcast when Chevron Lock comes back from hiatus?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're coming back soon. Trademark.
Yeah, I remember Will tweeting us a whole ton in all caps and exclamation points, and I'm like, oh, this is not for me. I know who this is for. And yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so speaking of attendee news for Comic-Con, did you guys hear that United wasn't letting them put comics in their checked bags.
What?
Yeah.
Really? No.
This is just another in a long list of great publicity stunts by United Airlines in a recent day. So, first, yes, they had signs up or something and everything that says, please put comics in your carry-ons. We will not be checking comics. And people were like outraged about it, and there's all this stuff on Twitter. So they came back and blamed the TSA and said TSA doesn't allow comics during Comic-Con in checked bags. And the TSA responds to the tweet and goes, "We have no such rule."
Yeah, that's a ridiculous rule. It's paper. So you don't allow paper.
Well, so kind of in United's defense, but just highlighting their ineptitude. Last year during Comic-Con, TSA sent out releases that advised during Comic-Con to the passengers to carry them on because apparently it triggers the sensors or something like that. I don't know what it is that's in the comic books where it has a tendency to trigger sensors so that it slows down the screening process and delays luggage. So if you could bring them on your carry-on, please do so. And United took that and said they don't allow comics in checked bags during Comic-Con.
Wow.
So
I'm pretty sure it's because of like the oils in your hands, I would think, or just because a lot of people touched it, but then why not like money and all that stuff? But
yeah.
Or it could be something in the ink that they make the comics, some comics out of.
It's very possible, but apparently
like
that's a
light
thing.
Up or something.
They just completely misinterpreted the TSA and made another great publicity shitstorm for themselves.
Are foil covers still a thing? I know back in the 90s that was a huge thing for comics. It might be something like that. Like if they do a special cover that's got foil bits to it, that might set off some alarms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible.
Whatever. I don't work in the TSA. It's not my problem.
Yeah. Well, I have to do it every day, so kind of.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's pretty funny. What other? I want to talk about trailers and stuff. What else did y'all see?
Justice League.
Is
it possible that Sony's not as dumb as we thought?
Sony? Oh, maybe.
Aren't they the ones that do Justice League?
It's Warner Brothers.
They don't own the property?
Warner Brothers.
You're right. You're right. Is it possible that Warner Brothers and DC are not as dumb as we thought?
Warner Brothers?
It's possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, this is why I want to see it. I just want it over with so I know if I hate it or not.
So they lead into the trailer with what? It's a 4-minute trailer. And the majority of it, with the complete lead in, is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They totally highlighted Wonder Woman. Yep. So maybe they're not as dumb as we think they are. Maybe they know that this is what they've got, you know? They're like, okay, Batman was really cool. Looks like Batfleck might be on the edge. Superman, that's a big surprise at the end. Nobody cares about Aquaman. The Flash is a thing. People love Wonder Woman. Maybe we should start to build this whole series around Wonder Woman.
Well, I don't think they are, though. I think it's just the way they put the trailer out is that they built the trailer on Wonder Woman. They already have the movie. They already, before other trailers and other, special looks, they had Wonder Woman. Before the Wonder Woman movie came out, they had her in the background and stuff like that. And then now that, it was very successful and it did well, that people like it and stuff, so they put her at the forefront. And I just think it's just a trailer ploy to get more people. I don't think she has that big of a role.
But there's been 25 million
her at the front.
Yeah, there you go. Because remember, as Batman v Superman was in production, they kept reshooting it and they kept adding more Batman. Yep. Because they got the sense that people wanted Batman and that Affleck was this strong character. So this went from being, I think when Batman vs. Superman first started, it was more of a Superman sequel.
Yep.
Where Batman played in it, to it being Batman vs. Superman, And so if they're doing $25 million in reshoots, coincidentally, after we know that Wonder Woman is a huge hit, I'm pretty sure that a lot of those reshoots are going to be dedicated into putting her more central. And it certainly seems like, at least from the trailer, that's what they want to do. So maybe they're not as dumb as we think they are.
Maybe. But I mean, the thing is, I still don't understand what they're doing. Like, the whole point of this, we got this from Batman v Superman, was to unite the 7. And there's only 6 of them. And that's if we bring back Superman, who's definitely dead and definitely not coming back in this movie.
Well, so who's the 7th?
Green Lantern.
Maybe Green Lantern shows up in there. Maybe that's a surprise for the movie.
He hasn't been cast, as far as anyone on Earth knows, and that is not a secret that would be kept. And in the trailer, it starts off, and you hear, I think it's Steppenwolf or one of the bad guys saying, "There's no Kryptonian, there's no Lantern." Okay, what the fuck is a lantern? Like, they haven't even introduced the concept into this.
Yeah, I heard that as well, and I was like, "Is that what he means? Is that what he's talking about?"
Yeah, that's exactly it. And they did announce the Green Lantern movie for July 24th, 2020, which is, too far into the future for me to think about.
Yeah.
But apparently it's a buddy cop space movie.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I could get behind that, though.
We're also the podcast that said that Spider-Man had given us the whole movie, and then we're surprised by 2 reveals during the movie, which nobody had leaked ahead of time.
And how happy was I to be wrong?
I know, but what I'm saying is, we can't discount the fact that they have somehow done an exceptional job keeping a secret. I mean, Marvel had people on set who aren't even in scenes or in the movie for Infinity War just to throw people off track.
Yeah.
So keeping secrets is becoming a very big thing to these people, so...
And good on them. Like, I hope that, like, Marvel does a good job of it. Marvel Studios. I hope that Sony and Warner Brothers and others take a page out of that book, and I hope that we get more surprises in the future. One surprise to come out of this too for me was Bright. You guys there?
Bright. I read something about that. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see a trailer for Bright.
Right.
That's a Will Smith
Netflix
it's Will Smith
movie. Yeah. Okay.
I'm in. Like, it's like a Shadowrun, like, kind of future, kind of fantasy world.
Does he
when
play
did
a
Will
genie?
Smith film this? When did he do this?
I don't know. But he plays a genie. No, he doesn't play a genie. He plays a cop, and his partner is some sort of creature. And there's this, like, racial tension between creatures and people. And at one point in the trailer, he beats the crap out of a fairy that was near his bug zapper. I kind of want to see
Black.
it. I mean, especially since it's a one-shot, not a TV show.
Oh, so it's the new Men in Black.
So it's about inter-creature racism?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Summed it up. Yeah,
that's done.
No. That's why he was. That's why he had that mustache, I guess. Okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
He had this really weird mustache, and I was like, oh, Will Smith. Okay, sure.
He has a really weird mustache.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about the Justice League 2 trailer. We had a bunch of, like, release dates for the upcoming DCEU movies too, and a bunch of other reveals from it. Apparently we're getting Aquaman in 2018 in December, Cyborg April 3rd, 2020, and then, like I said earlier, Green Lantern July 24th, 2020, and Shazam April 5th, 2019.
Shazam.
Yes. Wait, starring Shaquille O'Neal?
Starring Shaquille O'Neal as nobody in this movie. I don't even... I'm not sure if The Rock is in this, because I know they had cast him to play Black Adam, who's one of the guys in the Shazam universe, but I'm not clear on what's happening with all of this.
Wait, is Shazam like a real comic book?
Yeah, it's this kid, Billy Batson, who finds a wizard who gives him the power to become a superhero, and every time he says the word Shazam, he transforms into this hulking Superman analog.
Oh, I'm thinking of Kazam.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kazam.
There we go. Sorry, my bad.
That's a real superhero too. Those are some cool, some cool news, some dates on all that, on all the upcoming movies.
Yeah.
And what else do you have? Oh, was it announced, or was it like speculation that there's going to be a Harley Quinn versus Joker movie?
It was announced that they're doing
out.
Harley versus Joker. I'm not sure if that's the title or the working title, but they are working on that, and that is separate from the Suicide Squad 2. So that's not going to be the same movie.
Uh-huh.
And that's separate from, I think they were doing some sort of
Sirens sort of
movie.
thing?
Yeah, exactly. Which is separate from that as well. And all of this is separate from Batgirl that they're working on. They're also doing a Justice League Dark, and they may still be doing The Batman with possibly Ben Affleck.
No, I thought he announced it. Yeah, he said it at the thing. He was like, "Yeah, I'm good with being Batman."
Yeah, no, he's totally like, in, and I 100% believe them.
Okay, I see what you're doing there.
Well, here's the thing, Jules. So the other thing they announced was Flashpoint. So in other words,
true, yeah,
they announced a really easy way for them to reboot their own universe. Because that's what Flashpoint
do you think
does.
They would do? Yeah, I know that.
That's the Flashpoint story.
Would they do that so?
Yes.
So
yes,
easily?
They would.
So early on to the movies?
They have 72 movies in production, but they're just going to reboot the universe.
But that's the thing, is most of these are coming out well beyond whatever's happening, and or have very little chance for a sequel. So what's the difference at that point? They can Flashpoint.
So you're saying
after Justice League, they can do a Flashpoint and then continue on with different actors and continue what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Heaven help us all.
I see that.
No, I don't think that they should, but I think that that's what they're going to do.
That would cause so much just ridiculous stuff everywhere.
Yeah. The only actor they'd have to keep is Ezra Miller. Everyone else can stay or can go. It's up to them.
We're going to reboot and we're going to keep Gal Gadot. That's it. Everyone else is gone.
Right? But suddenly she's someone else now. They put her instead of Wonder Woman. She's like, Bat Mom.
Bat Mom.
Or Harley Quinn. What?
Hey, speaking of good comic book movie news, the Thor Ragnarok.
He says it in the trailer.
Yeah, I know. the new trailer.
Ragnon.
How good was that?
Holy crap, that is good.
Yes.
How good does that movie look? Oh my goodness.
I'm in 100%. I love Thor. I think Thor is the best. I love Hulk. I think Hulk is the best. I love Jeff Goldblum.
I think Jeff Goldblum's the best.
I want to have his babies. But no, it came out that the Get Jeff Goldblum is going to be the brother of the Collector from Guardians. So that
makes
cool.
sense. That's cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that movie, this tone that they've got, it's like this late 70s meets, Sin City, Frank Miller, just really different and unique and cool.
Yeah. Organically funny. Like, I love how that trailer opens and he's definitely talking to Hulk.
Yeah.
But he's also like talking to the audience. He's like, "Oh, since I've seen you last, so much has happened." Such an idiot. I love him. I read something the other day that apparently this version of Hulk is much closer to his normal personality. And so this is just him coming through. Like not Hulk, but actually the actor, Chris, whatever his name is, whichever Chris this is.
Chris? Is it a Chris?
It's a Chris.
It's not a Chris.
Isn't it?
No.
What's his name?
Who's
the actor's name?
The actor
Thor.
The Hulk?
Thor.
Oh, Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, yeah, Chris Hemsworth. I thought you were talking about
I was like,
no.
The Hulk.
No, Hulk's a baby in this. But no, this Thor is closer to Chris Hemsworth's actual personality.
Yeah.
He's a pretty funny dude.
He's
super funny.
Awesome.
I read an interview one time where he said that the worst thing about making the Marvel movies was having to get so jacked because it's too much weight to carry around and you can't find jeans that fit. Because his thighs are too big.
To have problems like that.
Oh, no.
He's like, seriously, I'm carrying around like 30 extra pounds. It's a lot of weight. My thighs are too big for any jeans. It's just a big problem.
He's compensated enough that he can buy custom jeans. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, this trailer was just super good and just kind of what Marvel's doing best. They're just doing it. They're just doing it really well, and they know what they have. They know what the audience wants for the most part.
Yep.
And they definitely just showcase it in both the trailers for the new Thor Ragnarok, and a lot of people were saying that there's a problem because it's supposedly the shortest Marvel movie. I think it's not going to be close to 3 hours like all the other ones, but I'm okay with that. If they make it a tight, hour and a half, like that's fine. Like if it's good and I get enough of whatever it is, sure. And okay, and an hour and a half and 2 hours between then, that I'm good with. Well, but people were complaining that it's not long enough already, and I'm like, just watch it. Just go watch it first.
Yeah, but they balance that because Infinity War is going to be the longest Marvel movie ever made.
Yeah.
Which I think just goes along with the hashtag no shit Sherlock, because it has everyone and their mother in it.
It has every face, and you got to give each face their time because they're a star.
It even has Batmom, even though she's a DC property.
Yep, and and they're introducing like 4 new characters because you get Thanos' Black Order coming into it. So you get new characters as the enemies. You get Thanos, who we've seen Josh Brolin's big stupid purple face for a while now. And you've got all like 30, 40 heroes, however many we have that are in this, because it's literally everyone we've met, and a couple people we haven't, apparently.
Speaking of studios that just do things really well, the Stranger Things 2 trailer was as perfect as the first season was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, how do we have such amazing trailers for a Netflix? Well, okay, now it's like, yes, Netflix, shows, Netflix originals are a thing, but I thought about it, as a me in the past, like I was thinking of me in the past, and like if I thought about it, thinking about like a trailer for a streaming show, I wouldn't be able to like, picture that like a this good of a trailer for some show that I'm going to see on the internet. I would never have thought that would happen, and it's just fantastic that Stranger Things is doing so well, and that this trailer is so amazing. It's just spot on.
Yeah, they introduce all these cool elements. They're at an arcade, very 80s. They're, exploring with, what do you call it? Ghostbusters stuff. And then all of a sudden, in the background, they're playing Thriller by Michael Jackson. And I'm sorry, you've got the king of the 80s and his music, and then it's a horror TV show, so Vincent Price is narrating, his part in the music, and it's like, could anything be more perfect? Like, it was just, the synergy was incredible. They're brilliant. That series is amazing. The trailer was every bit as good as the first season. I have no reason to think the second season isn't going to be just absolutely phenomenal.
No, I was talking to a customer yesterday at work about Stranger Things Season 1, and he didn't hear anything about it. It's not his wheelhouse. But his brother, his brother was watching it. He actually has watched it since, but originally he walked in, his brother was watching it, and he thought it was something from the 80s that he had just never heard of.
Right?
Because
so authentic.
It captures that aesthetic so well. The haircuts, the acting, everything about it was just the 80s, like distilled down into the perfect crystalline form.
Nothing was out of place.
No.
And that's like the mark. I think people always want to look at, when you're talking about a director or a writer, how big and how, bold and what luxuries are in this movie that are so impressive. And sometimes just doing things right is the best way to make a great thing. It's like I always say about Affleck movies. I'm a huge fan of Ben Affleck as a director, and it's not like he does anything that's like over the top visually or stylistically, but the details are always right. When he did the movie about the terrorist crisis that won the Oscar, what was that called? Crap.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah, Leaving Las Vegas. No, the one about the Syrian.
Syriana?
No, good grief. Hold on. Cut all this out. You're just being a bitch. It won an Oscar 2 years ago. It starts with an A.
I can see it. I can't.
Argo. I started to look it up and I didn't have to. I saved myself. Argo. Nothing in Argo is out of place from its time period.
Right.
So there's nothing to distract you from the story, from the actors. And I think that's the brilliance of Stranger Things. It's not just that the story's cool. It's not just that the concept is cool, but you're so enveloped in being transported to this time and place, and that you can't nitpick apart any of it.
Yep.
That it's just so easy to follow and to be engrossed in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the other time travel sortish thing that came out of SDCC, apparently the Captain Marvel movie is going to take place in the 90s, and so I'm hoping they take a page out of that book and just capture the aesthetic of the 90s as well as Stranger Things did the 80s.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, I mean, Jules, you should be excited about that because you're, a small child.
I am. I am excited, and I am a small child. Yeah. No, I don't know. I just hope they do it right. I mean, there's a lot of cool 90s stuff that was, that y'all are, like how y'all are nostalgic for the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm nostalgic for that 90s stuff. So I really just kind of apprehensive because I don't want it to be wrong. And I wanted them to portray it right and be super cool. All those little, all those cool colors and all that stuff that are in the 90s and all that.
I read a fan theory the other day because during this announcement for Captain Marvel, where we found out it's going to be in the 90s, they also announced that the enemy is going to be the Skrulls, which for anybody that's a comic book fan, the Skrulls are an alien race that several different times invades Earth, and they generally morph into someone so they can infiltrate. And Nick Fury is going to have both of his eyes in this movie for at least a portion of it. And he has said in other Marvel movies he's been in that the last time he trusted someone, he lost an eye. So this fan put forth that he is going to lose an eye to someone that is a Skrull in disguise. And I am excited to see that.
Wow.
That would be spectacular because I love the Skrulls. I think that they are a great enemy for the comics, and they always get beat easily, but they're just so pervasive and awesome that I think that they could do this right.
Yeah, they can do a lot with it, and I think it's pretty easy to do a whole thing, and that's going to be pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. Another sort of trailer. They did just some scenes from it that I'm excited for. Westworld season 2.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all saw that. It could have been longer for me. I think there's a lot of short stuff.
No, but
and
it's
a lot
a nice
of other
tease.
things that we're not going to mention. But yeah, it was a nice little, just hey, here's some cool scenes. Here's some interesting scenes. They didn't, display anything about the next story. They kind of show where they left off in season 1. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a drastic change in what's going on at the end from the beginning. And it shows the Man in Black one of the main characters, and how he looks and that he survives, and there's a lot of things going on there, and I just wish it would be longer, but I can wait for the next season.
Oh, it'll come, and it's going to be spectacular. The thing with the Westworld, and I respect this, they don't want to give too much away. Because they have an already daunting task, because they pulled off a spectacular twist in the first season, which for anybody that hasn't seen it, blog earmuffs, but where they didn't really give away all of the details of it until the very end, when all of a sudden it was revealed that you could have seen the pieces all along.
Oh, yeah.
So good. And so to try to replicate that, Rick and Morty's been going through the same thing. They don't want to do a season 3 unless they can do it right. And they don't want to release or talk about it until then, which I'm excited for Sunday for when it comes back. But, I'm sure they don't want to release anything because fans pick this apart now. There is nothing that gets through that people don't speculate about. And there's just so many people talking about it and speculating that someone is right every time.
Yeah, and I even I even listened to a Westworld podcast to accompany me on the Westworld show. They would put it out the day after, and people would send in their theories about things and speculations, and they do a deep dive into each episode. So yeah, there are a lot of people dissecting pretty much everything that happens on everything nerdy, kind of like what we do.
We do.
People more are specific. We kind of get everything, all the different things from all the genres of nerdy. and all that. So yeah, that was another thing. I mean, there's a lot that got announced and a lot of, trailers, other things that we saw, but I don't know if you want to talk about anything else.
No, I think these were my favorites from it. And, I want to hear what other people think too. If we missed something big, yell at us or tell us what you liked or what you hated. Shout out at us, nerdythingspod@gmail.com, at nerdythingspod on Twitter and nerdythingspod on Facebook. Whatever. Shout it, yell it, scream it.
Yeah, definitely let us know if we're wrong, if we got something wrong, or if we got something right, or if you really liked it, or if we missed something, or if you want to talk about that Walking Dead season 8 trailer or whatever, because we didn't and we don't. So, Tim, is there anything else you wanted to cover?
No, those are my big things.
Awesome. So I think that's gonna be it for this episode.
What a good episode. Calling it now.
Best
what do y'all want to do
ever.
What do y'all want to do for next week?
I don't know. I didn't give it any thought.
I mean, Tim, how long are you on vacation? Because I really want you to see Rick and Morty.
The Emoji Movie?
No, oh, yeah, well.
No.
I'm kidding, I was going to say Rick and Morty. We can talk about Rick and Morty.
Yeah, talk about Rick and Morty.
Do you have time to watch it?
Probably not.
So the Emoji Movie.
No, the Emoji Movie.
Totally kidding about that. We'll come up with something. We always do.
Yeah, cool. We'll figure it out.
Guys, listen.
Awesome.
Sometimes we like to surprise you. Audience.
Sometimes we like to surprise ourselves.
Yeah, sometimes we just get on here and start talking, and we don't know what we're talking about.
Nope, we never know what we're talking about.
That's us 100% of the time. So, thank you to Adipsia for the use of his song "Friends Don't Let Friends." Go to TGI Fridays, and you can download more of his song music at adipsia.bandcamp.com. And he just released an album called The Stoic.
The Stoic,
and it's available now on Bandcamp and all that stuff.
And thank you to the Bell Curve for the music under the main topic.
All right. And make sure to go to nerdythingspod.com for all the nerdy news and all that stuff. Go see pictures from Williams Con Experience, San Diego Comic Con. Go follow us on Twitter and all that stuff. Kevin already said it. At nerdythingspod. Patreon.com/nerdythingspod/nerdythingspod to support us and get exclusive content. tpublic.com. And look up Nerdy Things Pod as well to get some Nerdy Things merch.
Give us your money. We'll read your stuff.
That's our little subtitle. There you go. Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.